Hey, what's up guys? JayzTwoCents here, and I'm going to do something that's pretty new and unique to my channel because I'm going to be reviewing a pre-built system. We're going to be taking a look here at the Zeus Mini from CyberPowerPC, and I want to point out that this is not available on the market yet. This does not launch until February 28th, and I've been given full NDA disclosure and ability to go ahead and talk all about this product. So I don't know if this is an exclusive or not, but I can tell you that we're going to go ahead and talk about it and be one of the first to show you about this super tiny mini ITX build here from CyberPowerPC. So don't go away. Now you guys might be wondering, why the hell does Jay have a Z87i Gaming ITX motherboard box here on his desk? I mean, I've already reviewed this thing, we've already taken a look at this. Well, two reasons. One, this is the motherboard that is powering this system, and two, it is basically holding a lot of the stuff that comes with your system here. You've got your driver disks, and you've got your Windows 8.1 disk, and manuals, cables, the antennas, because this is a Wi-Fi wireless system. So they pretty much just put everything in the motherboard box, which is pretty typical when it comes to system integrators and builders that are already dealing with pre-built systems. Now this is really small, and the dimensions of this, actually, guys, I'm gonna bring up the website because, and the link to more information about this system is down in the description. So please don't forget about the description. Make sure you guys check that out. The dimensions on this are 17.4 inches long, 4.4 inches wide, and 13 inches tall. So as you can see, that is a very compact system. In fact, it's about the size of a old school VHS, like cassette tape. I know you guys are like, what the hell is a VHS, Jay? What are you talking about? I'm aging myself, guys. It's about the size of a VCR. Yeah, video cassette recorder. There you go. Let's go ahead and talk about the specs before we talk about like the case, because the case itself is really unique. I mean, I've already torn this thing apart and taken a look at it. I've always get concerned about cooling in such small cases. So I have already torn this thing apart and put it back together. This is featuring the Intel i7 4770K. It is not overclocked, and I kind of don't really recommend it in this configuration, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. Windows 8.1 64-bit. It's got a 240 gigabyte Intel 520 series SSD. It's the green Zeus 100 Mini ITX case, which we're looking at right here. It does come in other colors, black, red. It's all on the website. Check it out. It is the EVGA 500 watt, 80 watt bronze power supply. It's the Cooler Master Sidon 120M cooler, and that's kind of why I don't really recommend overclocking the 4770K too much, because 120 millimeter coolers of really any brand, and with Intel's, the Haswell cooling, it's just really difficult because of the bad internal heat spreader. That's a whole other video. It does have an 8x slim drive in here. It does have an optical. It does have a GTX 780 superclocked and the MSI Z87i, which we've already talked about. Now the case, you can see it lifts out of this little stand here to make sure that you don't knock it over. Now some of these cases that are of this style allow you to lay them flat or stand them up. I don't recommend you lay it flat because this is designed with cross flow in mind. It pulls from one side of the case and goes out the other. Same thing with the ventilation on the top. You don't want to, if you plug one side of this, you're not going to get the flow that you need in this case, which could lead to overheating. On the front, we've got the slim drive right there. We've got our power button, LEDs that are in here and light up. Got some CyberPower branding right there, and you've got your green mesh, which is also on the side. On the side right here, we have a single USB 3.0 jack, our input and output for audio, and a USB 2.0. You've got your Windows key right there. We'll make sure we don't zoom in on that. And our Core i7. On the back for I/O, you can see we've got the same I/O shield that is on the Z87i that I've already reviewed, with the wireless adapters right there. The power plug is in the middle of the back of the case, and you can see the orientation of the graphics card makes it pretty obvious that they're using like a PCI Express ribbon adapter to kind of relocate the graphics card to a location in the case that makes sense on the case. You've got one thumb screw that holds on each side panel, so we'll go ahead and remove these guys right now, and you can see basically what you have here is, and it's kind of difficult actually with the little, the feet on there. So there's our side panel with our grill on there. Very basic, not a whole lot to show there. And same thing on the other side. You have got your grill, and you can see they just changed the color of the grill based on the case that you get. Now let's go ahead and talk about the inside. And I think the layout of this case is really well thought out. As you can see, it's very compact. Here's the slim drive, the hard drives are under that. Here is your power supply here. Here is a exhaust fan, and wires are bumping that because that's my fault. And then you've got the Cyden 120M cooler right there with a green LED fan because they put in a LED fan that matches whatever color option that you go with on the case. And our graphics card you can see mounted this way, and our motherboard is down there. Now I'm gonna basically include some B-roll of this guy, and I need to move this wire out of the way here because when I took it apart and put it back, I didn't make sure that wire was clear. So, oh, I forgot to mention what the memory is. Derp, it is a Patriot 2133 megahertz 4 gigabyte times 2 kit. So it's a dual channel kit, 4 gigs, 2 4 gig sticks for 8 gigs total RAM, 2133 in XMP profile. Now, the cable management of CyberPowerPC is actually really good. And in a case like this, you have to have that type of cable management. I mean, you have to have it really well thought out. You can't just be blocking all the airways here because of, being lazy with your wiring, because you're going to block airflow, which is very important in this case. Now, the Cyden 120M fan is pushing air out of the radiator, so it's pulling it from this side of the case, the back side, which I guess would be the left side, to the right side for cross flow. You have this exhaust fan right here, which is helping pull air across from the motherboard, and then your power supply here is pulling air in from, you can see right here, this side. It pulls the air in and then it exhausts it, I guess, kind of out of the front inside of the case. And the graphics card right here, as you can see, this is a reference blower style card, is going to be taking the air in through one of the vents that are, let's see, I think it's the other side. So we pull in the air in through one of these, God, get it right, Jay. Oh my God, I already had it right. Okay, so as we pull in the air in through one of these vents and pushing it out of the back. So the graphics card kind of has its own dedicated path for air to flow, so it doesn't really affect the ambient case temps too much. Here's the back side of the motherboard, so it's easy to access the cooler tray. And what I think is really unique about this case, and this is the part where I'm going to introduce some B-roll to show you this, is the way that everything is mounted. They have this really nice proprietary kind of a bracket design where they have these cross beams and everything mounts to that. Now, inspecting the cross beam here for the cooler, it looks to me like you could go with a 240 millimeter radiator in here. I don't have, I mean, the bad side is it gets really, really close to the graphics card, which could block some of the airflow. And so I don't know how well it would perform unless you had maybe slim fans. It's a little bit iffy, but the backside of this fan is perfectly fine when it comes to airflow. I mean, all the hard drives are down in here, but you've got these cross members here which hold everything in, and as you unscrew these screws, you can take out particular components to make things really easily accessible. Like the graphics card is sitting here with the ribbon connector here that allows you to lay the card flat, and then it's got this bracket in the back that kind of holds everything down. The cooler has its own mount, which is mounted to the case directly. You have this exhaust fan, which again has its own mount, and everything is just so well thought out. The only thing I think would have maybe made a little bit more sense to me, this is just me personally though, is maybe instead of having this fan right here that pulls air out of the motherboard, maybe flip it around so that it's blowing air onto the motherboard components. That way you have more active cooling of the motherboard itself, because it's directly on top of the motherboard. This kind of case tells me though that you have two cooling options when it comes to the CPU. Either water cooling like they've already included like this, or a very low profile CPU cooler, which I'm not sure the 4770K would be too friendly with, because we all know that is a very hot chip. Now, when it comes to performance numbers and stuff, I'm not going to be hooking this up and giving you guys any real performance numbers because we already know how the components are. We already know how the 780 performs. We know how the 4770 performs. The Patriot memory is really, really fast. I just kind of wanted to open this up, take it apart, show you guys what the construction is like and what the build quality is like when it comes to CyberPowerPC. So here is Jay's unboxing and overview of the Zeus Mini here from CyberPowerPC. So what do you guys think about this case design? I personally think it's really well thought out. Thermally, I don't really see there being any, too many issues with it, especially since I recommend running this at stock speeds and not really overclocking it too much, unless you're able to go with more higher end cooling in this. But I think it's perfectly well thought out. Looks like you can even go with a larger power supply if you needed. Not much room left in there, so probably not recommended. I'm sure CyberPowerPC knows what they can and can't fit in there. But guys, you guys always ask me about pre-bought systems and what I recommend. CyberPowerPC is a company that's been around for a long time. I got the chance to talk with Eddie over at CyberPowerPC. Great guy, seems to be really on top of things, communicates well, and I can't talk about price on this because honestly I have no idea, guys. It's not even launched yet. So be looking for this here on CyberPowerPC's website, February 28th. The information is down in the description, and hope you guys like what you saw. Tell me what you think. As always, I will see you guys in my next video.